Pope Francis has made quite an impression in his first months on the job. His charming humility has been moving Catholics and non-Catholics alike with one gesture after another.
Pope Francis has never shied away from addressing uncomfortable truths within the Church, and his latest message is no exception. Speaking with his characteristic blend of candor and compassion, the pontiff delivered a striking message to nuns, urging them to rediscover the joy at the heart of their vocation. His words were not a mere critique, but a heartfelt plea for renewal, challenging religious women to embody the light and hope that the gospel represents. In a world increasingly burdened by despair and division, the Pope's call for joy resonates far beyond the walls of convents, serving as a powerful reminder of faith's transformative power. This message, bold yet deeply pastoral, has sparked conversations across the Catholic community, raising questions about the spiritual vitality of religious life and the Church's role in fostering it. Pope Francis has built his papacy on the themes of mercy, inclusion, and joy, continually calling for a church that reflects the love and hope of Christ. However, in his recent address, the Pope turned his attention to an issue that has largely gone unspoken: the joylessness creeping into the lives of some nuns. For many, the image of a nun is associated with devotion, compassion, and a quiet yet powerful joy that stems from their faith. Yet, Pope Francis's warning highlighted the stark reality that this joy is sometimes absent, replaced by rigidity, fatigue, or a lack of spiritual vitality. His remarks have sparked widespread reflection on the essential role joy plays not only in religious life, but in the broader mission of the Church. The Pope's comments are not merely critical, but deeply pastoral, rooted in a genuine concern for the spiritual well-being of nuns and the communities they serve. He understands the immense pressures faced by religious women today, from the growing demands of their ministries to the societal shifts that have, in some cases, left them feeling isolated and undervalued. Yet Francis emphasized that these challenges, while significant, cannot justify a life devoid of joy. Instead, he called for a renewal of spirit, urging nuns to reconnect with the core of their vocation, the transformative and joyous love of Christ. Historically, nuns have been the hands and feet of the Church, playing pivotal roles in education, healthcare, and social justice. Their contributions have been instrumental in shaping the Church's outreach to the most vulnerable, from orphaned children to the sick and elderly. But as Francis pointed out, these acts of service must be accompanied by a spirit of joy to truly reflect the gospel. Without joy, the work of religious life can become routine, even burdensome, robbing it of its power to inspire and evangelize. The spiritual necessity of joy. For Pope Francis, joy is not just an emotion but a profound spiritual state that reflects a person's relationship with God. Drawing from Scripture, he reminded his audience that Jesus himself called on his followers to rejoice, even in the face of trials and tribulations. This joy is not superficial or fleeting, but deeply rooted in faith and the knowledge that God's love is unwavering. For nuns, this joy should be a defining characteristic, radiating through their actions and attitudes. The Pope emphasized that joy is essential for effective evangelization. A joyless nun, he argued, risks projecting an image of faith that is rigid, uninspiring, and even discouraging. On the other hand, a joyful nun becomes a living testimony to the power of God's love, drawing others to the Church through her demeanor and actions. This kind of joy is especially crucial in a world often consumed by despair, division, and cynicism. In such a context, the joyful witness of religious women can serve as a powerful counterpoint, offering hope and healing to those in need. Francis acknowledged that maintaining joy is not always easy, especially in the face of the challenges that come with religious life. Burnout, loneliness, and the pressures of leadership can all take a toll, leaving nuns feeling disconnected from their vocation. However, he urged them to see joy not as an optional extra, but as a spiritual necessity, something to be cultivated through prayer, community, and a constant renewal of their relationship with God. The Pope also addressed the structural and cultural factors that can contribute to joylessness. He criticized the tendency within some religious communities to prioritize rules and discipline over the spiritual and emotional well-being of their members. While discipline is important, he argued, it must be balanced with freedom and encouragement, creating an environment where joy can flourish. Leaders within religious orders have a particular responsibility in this regard, as they set the tone for their communities and play a key role in nurturing the spiritual health of their members. The role of joy in the broader mission of the Church. Pope Francis's message to nuns is part of a broader vision for the Church, one that prioritizes authenticity, compassion, and accessibility. Throughout his papacy, Francis has consistently called for a church that goes out to the peripheries, reaching those who feel marginalized or excluded. Joy is central to this mission, as it is often the first thing that attracts people to the faith. A joyful church, he argued, is a welcoming church, one that inspires trust and invites people into a deeper relationship with God. The Pope's comments have implications not just for nuns, but for all members of the Church. Priests, lay people, and church leaders are all called to live their faith with joy, showing the world that Christianity is not about rules or restrictions, but about a transformative encounter with God's love. This is particularly important in a time when many people view the Church as out of touch or overly focused on its own internal issues. By embracing joy, the Church can show the world a different face, one that is hopeful, inclusive, and deeply connected to the realities of modern life. Francis's remarks also challenge the broader Church to reflect on how it supports its members, particularly those in religious life. Are nuns given the resources and support they need to thrive spiritually and emotionally? Are their contributions recognized and valued? These are questions that go beyond the individual and speak to the structures and systems within the Church. For joy to flourish, it must be nurtured at every level, from the personal to the institutional. A call to renewal and hope. Pope Francis's warning to joyless nuns is ultimately a call to renewal. It is an invitation for religious women, and the Church as a whole, to reconnect with the core of their faith and rediscover the joy that comes from living in relationship with God. This renewal is not about denying the challenges or difficulties of religious life, but about finding strength and hope in the gospel. For nuns, this means taking time to care for their own spiritual health, recognizing that they cannot give to others what they do not have themselves. It means prioritizing prayer, rest, and community, even in the midst of busy schedules. It also means embracing a spirit of gratitude, seeing their work not as a burden, but as a privilege and a calling. For the broader Church, the Pope's message is a reminder of the importance of joy as a cornerstone of faith. It is a call to create environments where joy can thrive, whether in religious communities, parishes, or families. It is also a call to witness to the world, showing that Christianity is not about rigidity or joylessness, but about a life transformed by love. In a world increasingly marked by despair and division, the joyful witness of nuns, and of the Church as a whole, has never been more important. Pope Francis's words serve as a powerful reminder of the hope and joy that are central to the Christian faith. By embracing this joy, the Church can become a beacon of light in a dark world, inspiring others to seek the love of God and live their lives with purpose and hope.